What's up, everyone? Welcome to Front Yard Fantasy's Week 6 Trade Targets video. I'm Simon here with my buddy Josh, and we're going to be running through 6 players that we think you should be trying to acquire in your fantasy leagues after Week 5 of the NFL season. Josh, we are going to come to you first for the first player that you had in mind, so let's hear it.
Oh, I'm excited to do this. I got some good players for you. You got to go get these players. The first guy I want to mention is Chase Claypool. All right, Chase Claypool, wide receiver for the Steelers. Got to start out by mentioning Juju Smith-Schuster is out the rest of the season with a shoulder injury. So there will be more targets available in this offense going forward. Claypool is actually currently ranked as the 34th wide receiver in PPR leagues, but he's only played in 4 games, okay? The only players above him who have played in 4 games are Antonio Brown and his fellow teammate Deontay Johnson. So there's absolutely room to rise here. Last year, as a rookie, Claypool was the 24th ranked wide receiver as a rookie. Claypool currently has more yards than Deontay Johnson, and I know Johnson is known as this high target guy, but Claypool only has 2 less targets than him. Everyone out there should adjust their rankings because Claypool is a top 24 wide receiver for me the rest of the season. Go and trade for him. That's what I got to say about Claypool. How does that make you feel, Simon?
I completely agree with you. With Juju going down, I was already interested in Claypool, but this just ups his value for me. This might be the last chance you can go trade for him at a reasonable value, and I think that's a smart move, Josh.
And I think it's just like the fact real fast that Deontay Johnson seems like the perceived, like going to be he's probably going to get more targets because he's more of that short area, target guy. But Claypool, he's a little bit less valued. So I would go get him now over Deontay Johnson.
Completely agree with you. It's going to be a lot harder to acquire a Deontay Johnson right now. While we're talking about players affected by injury that we should be trading for, I wanted to bring up one of my trade targets. You brought up a player that had his value increased due to a teammate's injury. I'm bringing up a player that is currently injured that I think you should be trying to acquire before he comes back, and that player is David Montgomery of the Chicago Bears. The David Montgomery team is likely struggling at running back right now, and if you have a 4-1, 5-0, maybe even a 3-2 team, and you can afford to make this kind of move, David Montgomery is the perfect trade target right now. Before he got injured, he was averaging over 17 carries a game, and on a points per game basis, he's the RB16 in PPR leagues right now. He is in an offense that wants to continue running the ball with a rookie quarterback at center, that they're going to lean on the running game to help Justin Fields adapt to the NFL. David Montgomery is going to continue getting ridiculous amounts of work whenever he comes back. We saw Damian Williams be successful in this offense, and David Montgomery is twice the back that he is. And we saw it for 4 games before the injury. This is the kind of player where if your team can handle him sitting on your bench for a couple weeks, it is the perfect move to go make for your end of season push.
Yeah, no, I love that. You already said it, but you need to have a pretty good record to make this move. But David Montgomery was so good before he got injured. And look at all the carries both Khalil Herbert and Damian Williams are getting. So yeah, Damian Harris is going to be a great fantasy running back once.
David Montgomery.
David Montgomery, not Damian Harris. I got Damian Williams in my head, got a little mixed up there, but David Montgomery, absolutely.
All good, cool. Josh, who is your next player?
My next guy is TJ Hockenson, tight end for the Detroit Lions. I think most people out there know he started out the year on fire. Weeks 1 and 2 were fantastic, but the last 3 weeks have been very disappointing for TJ Hockenson. However, I do believe Hockenson is the most talented pass catcher on the Detroit Lions. We're going to see more games like week 1 and week 2 throughout the season. There's really no doubt in my mind. We have to remember that the Lions, they're not such a great team. They're going to be behind in games, and they're going to have to air it out. And Hockenson will eventually be the beneficiary of all these pass attempts. Jared Goff is currently 5th in the NFL in terms of pass attempts. Jared Goff. That's nuts to me. Then there's all these other tight ends that look like they are breaking out. There's Mike Gesicki, there's Dalton Schultz, Hunter Henry, Dan Arnold, Dawson Knox. Now I do think the Knox breakout is pretty legit, but I still think that TJ Hockenson will end the season ranked higher than all these guys. I'm trading for TJ Hockenson. I'm willing to give up these guys. If maybe there's a team out there that has, a Dawson Knox and a TJ Hockenson, and they're willing to ship out TJ Hockenson, go get him while the value is low, in my opinion.
100% agree. TJ Hockenson is one of the few tight ends that I think is in that tier right after Travis Kelce, and then the next tier, Darren Waller. TJ Hawkinson's right there. with the Mark Andrews. Honestly, same value. I know we saw Mark Andrews blow up game last night, but I value TJ Hockenson similarly rest of season. And right now he is not being looked at that way because of his past couple weeks performances. This is the perfect opportunity to go and try to get TJ Hockenson on your team if you've been struggling at tight end or streaming out there.
I had to talk a buddy off the cliff, off a cliff the other last week, and it didn't go well. But I'm still in on TJ Hockenson. He was trying to bench him for, I don't even remember. It was a bad move. It was a bad move, whatever it was. It was ridiculous. But TJ Hockenson still, I can't remember the other option. But go and get TJ Hockenson in fantasy.
Completely agree there. Guys, the next player I want to talk about is a wide receiver on the Los Angeles Chargers, and it is not Mike Williams who has been blowing up. I want to talk about Keenan Allen as a player you should be going to try to trade for. Now, don't get me wrong. He's been doing well, and you're still probably going to have to pay up a little bit to get Keenan Allen on your team. This is not some sort of like super buy low, but it is a bit of a buy low because Mike Williams has been absolutely dominating in fantasy. But when you take a step back and look at how this offense is running, it's a 1A, 1B situation between Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Keenan Allen currently has the highest target share on the team at a 26.5% target share, ahead of Mike Williams at 25.5%. They're neck and neck. They're probably going to go back and forth all year, depending on who got more targets in that last game. But Mike Williams has the touchdowns right now, so all of the attention is going towards him. Keenan Allen is going to continue finding fantasy success, and I would say is more likely to finish as the top scoring receiver on this team at the end of the year than Mike Williams. Even with the way they've been using this offense. So Keenan Allen is the player I'm targeting from the Los Angeles Chargers right now. And with the way this team has been playing, how do you not want pieces of that offense? They're so much fun to watch. Justin Herbert's throwing like a maniac, and Keenan Allen is going to be the more affordable piece to go and try to acquire right now.
Love it. I love it. I personally prefer Keenan Allen over Mike Williams as well. Even though I buy into Mike Williams. He's the real deal, but Keenan Allen's going to get his.
Yeah, absolutely. You can start both of those guys rest of season going forward. Full confidence, obviously, but Keenan Allen's the one I'm trying to trade for right now.
Yeah.
Who's your next player, Josh?
It's Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, kind of similar to Keenan Allen, but a little bit of a different situation. Calvin Ridley, he's an elite receiver who will continue to be the primary focus for this offense in my mind. Now that Ridley has missed a game and Kyle Pitts and Cordero Patterson, they've been going off, people might be a bit scared about what happens when Ridley does actually come back next week. Look, Ridley is currently 15th in terms of total targets out of all wide receivers this season. Every single wide receiver in front of him has played in all 5 games so far. Ridley is a freaking target machine. And if someone out there is freaking out, go and get Ridley, all right? He's still a top 12 wide receiver for me. I'm still taking him above Deebo Samuel, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, and even Mike Evans. I mean, that's a lot of guys I'm still taking Calvin Ridley above, especially in a PPR league. And the Falcons defense is pretty bad, which is going to lead to positive game scripts for Ridley going forward. This guy is a league winner if you're able to buy low on him right now.
And if people are worried about the Kyle Pitts breakout eating into Ridley's targets, what I want to say is the Kyle Pitts breakout did not happen because Kyle Pitts got more targets. He's been getting those targets all season long. You don't have to worry about that eating into Calvin Ridley. They can both be successful on the NFL field. Nothing changed as far as Kyle Pitts' target share in that game, really, on a large scale. So I'm not too worried about Calvin Ridley with Kyle Pitts being involved in the offense as well.
Yeah.
We got one more player to talk about, guys, and this is one I was excited for at the beginning of the season. And you know what? So far, it's going about how we predicted. And that player is running back Javonte Williams for the Denver Broncos. We never expected him to come in and take the workload right away. We expected Melvin Gordon to get the lion's share of the carries at the beginning of the season. But whenever you look at how the backfield is broken down for the Denver Broncos so far, it is almost an even split. 60 carries for Melvin Gordon, 54 for Javonte Williams, 10 receptions for Melvin Gordon, 11 receptions for Javonte Williams. These guys are splitting 50-50 in this backfield, and Javonte Williams is a rookie learning this NFL offense. I fully expect by the end of this season, Javonte Williams is going to ramp up that workload as Melvin Gordon gets ramped down, and that makes him a buy right now. This is the lowest I think his carry share is going to be in this offense for the rest of the season. And if this increases, you can start him right now. You will definitely be able to start him, and this will be a player you want on your fantasy team down the stretch if that's how this backfield breaks down.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And you said this is kind of what we expected to come in the season. He's exceeded my expectations with Melvin Gordon. They're pretty evenly split in work, but Javonte Williams looks so special when he gets the ball in his hands. The last 2 weeks, he's made big plays that show us why he could be this league winning back at the end of the season once if he can take over for Melvin Gordon. So
that's a great point, Josh. He has that spark. Like whenever you're watching, there's just the spark that he brings to the offense, which is a big part of the reason why I think he will eventually start getting a larger share of these carries. Completely agree with you there. Okay. Those are our week 6 trade targets, guys. Go out, try to acquire them. As you can see behind Josh, trading is fun and trading makes fantasy fun. I stole your line, Josh.
It does.
That's why we're here making this video. Let us know what deals you got done in the comments. Throw the trades that you made for these players, and we'll be happy to talk through those deals with you. And guys, go out and win your fantasy matchups this week. Until next time, we are out of here. We'll see you, everybody.
Peace.